Hi everyone, welcome to the best banana bread muffins you will ever have. Not only do they taste fantastic, they're really easy and quick to make. We grew up eating these, and it's a great way to use up those extra bananas that you forgot about that went a little bit too ripe. And the more ripe, the better they are. So let's get right into it. Now, first thing we're gonna need is 1 cup of butter or margarine and 4 eggs. We wanna take 1 cup of margarine or butter and 4 eggs, and we're gonna cream them together. Now, we want our butter or margarine to be room temperature. If it's not quite there yet, it's okay. It just takes a little bit longer to whip up. So we're gonna put the margarine in our mixer here, and we're gonna add 2 cups of sugar. Don't worry, I will have the recipe written down below for you guys, just in case you miss anything. So we're gonna cream this, so we start off a little bit slow. We don't wanna spray the sugar everywhere. And once it starts to combine a little bit, I'm gonna put it up to about medium speed here. And then you can bring it up to, like medium high, and we can just leave it here for a while. It's kind of crumbly in the beginning, so we want it to come together and be light and fluffy. We know it'll be nicely creamed once the color gets a little bit lighter and it comes more creamy and not such a thick texture. Remember to scrape down the sides of your bowls every so often to get right in there. And then you can turn it back on and whip it up a little bit more. So I'm going to whip it here a little bit more just to get it nice and smooth and creamy. And you'll notice the texture has changed. Now it looks a lot fluffier, looks a lot lighter. So that's kind of what we're going for here. So now I'm ready to add 4 eggs. So I want to just add them one at a time. And I make mistakes too. A couple of them flew in there. That's okay. This is a really easy recipe. It doesn't have to be perfect. Your measurements don't have to be exact. It always turns out for me. So don't worry about it if things happen and it's not the right way. And we just want to make sure each egg gets mixed in there before we add, the next one if we can. And I just have it on like a low medium speed here, just so it's not spraying everything all over the place. And then once everything's added here, I can pick up the speed just to make sure it's nicely mixed in. I just want to make my batter all nice and even looking. You can see how creamy and nice and light it looks. So that's good. And now we can go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now you can use imitation vanilla or real vanilla extract. Whatever you have on hand is great. If you even don't have it on hand, it won't make a huge difference. I like to keep it in there. If you have it on hand, you can use it. If you don't worry about it either. Okay, now we're gonna go to our bananas. So here I have some pretty ripe bananas. They've been a little bit bruised here. My kids don't want to eat them. They look okay inside. So even, if your bananas are more brown than this, that's awesome. The more ripe they are, the sweeter they are, the better they are for the recipe. So I'm going to peel about 6 to 7 bananas. And if you have smaller ones, it's good to use 7. If you have bigger ones, you can use 6. Sometimes I have an extra banana, so I'll just throw it in there because I don't know what else to do with it. This recipe is really easy and it doesn't have to be super exact, so it's good. So what we're going to do here is just mush it up with a fork. And we want to get it nice and mushy and sort of juicy looking. So you'll see what it looks like at the end when I'm all done with it. So what I normally do is I cream my butter and my sugar, and because it takes a little while to do, I'll go and peel my bananas and start mushing them up so that I kind of have things going at the same time. And once they're all mushed up, we can put this aside for now and we can move on to our dry mixture. Okay, now onto the dry ingredients. So I'm going to need 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. And in a big separate bowl here, I'm going to put 4 cups of flour. And then I'm going to add my baking soda, baking powder, and salt. And I'm just going to stir it all together. All right, now that we have our dry mixture ready, now we're ready to combine all the ingredients together. So I go back to my sugar, egg, and butter mixture, and I'm going to add about 1/3 of the flour here to the mixture. And I have it on medium-low. So what we're going to do is alternate between our dry mixture and our wet mixture. So we're going to put about 1/3 of the flour in, and then I'm going to go in about with half the banana mixture. And here I'm just keeping it kind of like medium low on the mixer here. I don't want to go too high. Just want to get it all nicely mixed in. Now we're going to add another 1/3 of the flour. And I like to alternate so that, the mixture doesn't get too wet or too dry. So this seems to be, the perfect way to do it. And then I'm going to add the rest of the banana mixture here. And the last 1/3 of my flour mixture. And again, you want to keep the mixture on low here, otherwise your flour will be puffing out of the mixture like crazy. And we just want to mix it until it's combined. And you don't want to turn it up too much. Make sure you scrape down the sides of the bowl and get everything mixed in. And once it looks like all the flour's in there, you can go ahead and take it out of your mixer. And we're going to go ahead and add our chocolate chips. Now, my family prefers chocolate chips. Some people don't like them. Some people prefer walnuts or, both. So it's really up to you this part to customize it the way you like. So here I have about a cup and a half chocolate chips. Let's be honest, I think my kids snuck a few more in there. And then I'm just going to fold the chocolate chips in, just give it a nice stir. And I prefer to do this part by hand because it's really quick and easy. Then you want to line your muffin tin. And I'm just going to spray here with some non-stick spray. It's very important so that the paper cups come nice and easily off of the muffins. So this batter makes about 2 dozen medium large muffins. And so I usually put about 2 scoops. I fill them up, quite well. You can also make 2 loaves as well. And again, they freeze super well. I've frozen the loaves, I've frozen the muffins. My kids prefer these muffins because they're easier to do. We don't have to cut up the loaves in slices. So we usually do these ones. And they're so delicious. Everybody loves them. They're great for taking them on the road if you're going on vacation, or school snacks, or just, something to have with your morning coffee. So once you've scooped in all the batter, we're going to put it into our preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And they're going to bake about 22 to 24 minutes. Keep an eye on them, the first couple times that you make them. Every oven is a little bit different. Some run a little bit hotter, some run a bit cooler. So, always do the toothpick test and see if your batter is ready. You don't want to see any wet batter on your toothpick. So if you see a couple of crumbs, but they're not wet looking, that's perfect. They're ready to go. They kind of have golden edges and nice light tops. And they look super delicious. I threw a few chocolate chips on the top just to make them look nice. I really hope you get a chance to make them. Let me know what you think. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so you don't miss another video. And we'll see you in the next one. Happy baking!